In a major shift for U.S. housing finance, the Federal Housing Finance Agency is now requiring Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to consider cryptocurrency as part of mortgage risk assessments. The directive, signed in June, marks the first time digital assets will be factored into traditional home lending. It means borrowers may no longer need to convert their crypto into U.S. dollars before closing on a loan. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have been ordered to develop proposals on how to include these assets in their lending decisions. Earlier, I spoke with David Clement from the Consumer Choice Center about what this could mean for the future of home buying. So, David, how big of a deal is it that cryptocurrencies can be counted as asset in mortgage applications for Americans?
It's a pretty big deal because it legitimizes cryptocurrencies in a very formal way, and ingrains it into one of the biggest aspects of the US finance sector, which is housing. And so essentially, what it means is if you hold cryptocurrency, you can use that to show your kind of total net worth, which has wide implications in terms of what you qualify in terms of your mortgage, how much you can borrow, what your interest rate may be, and things like that. So it's significant in terms of cryptocurrency, it's significant in terms of housing, but there's also a generational side to this as well, because the US isn't as bad in terms of a housing crisis in comparison to Canada. But in major US cities, you see the same problem where a younger generation feels like they're priced out of the market. Getting a mortgage can be particularly difficult. So there's a generational aspect here as well.
And what would the generational impact be?
So cryptocurrency, generally speaking, because it's newer, is something that's far more likely to be adopted by young people. And you could have a young person who has, let's say, modest income, but maybe has quite substantial level of holdings in cryptocurrency, whether that's Bitcoin or others. When you can't use that to show what your net worth is, you're basically just, the financial sector ignores what you have. And in the previous scenario, you would have to liquidate all of your cryptocurrencies into US dollars. And then you would be able to obviously apply it to a mortgage because it would be cash, but you run the risk of liquidating all of your assets and everything that you're holding. In the same way that you may not want to sell all of your stock that
And,
you hold.
and are there any risks to this?
Yeah, I mean, the risks for on the lender side is cryptocurrencies are extremely volatile. So on the lender side, banks and financial institutions are going to have to figure out a way to correctly assess what, let's say, $50,000 in Bitcoin is really worth, or some of these alternative coins that are far more volatile, which go by names that I probably can't say for broadcast television. And so there is risk there, because if on the lender and regulatory side, they get that risk adjustment wrong, you could be assessing someone's net worth and ability to cover liabilities incorrectly if, let's say, the price of a particular cryptocurrency falls by 50% overnight, which can happen. And so there is some risk there, that's going to have to be sorted out in the financial sector.
And can we expect this to happen in Canada?
I hope so. I hope we see some sort of more formal recognition of cryptocurrency assets in Canada. Right now, you have to liquidate them, so you have to sell. And traditionally speaking, there's a 60-day like wait period, so you can't liquidate them and use them right away. They have to be the funds would have to be in your account for 60 days. So I would like to see some progress and some formal recognition. That obviously comes with the cost of trying to figure out that risk assessment, but if it's capable if it's possible in the US, we're certainly capable of doing it here.
Awesome. Thank you for the time, David.
Thank you.